Welcome back to the Robins Center here as the Spiders have a 46-45 win over St. Joe's for their first conference win of the season. And along with Coach Michael Shafer, Robert Fish here. And Michael, tonight, well, about 35 minutes of basketball seems that way every night. You get that 5-minute scoring drought, and we even talked about it at halftime amongst ourselves.
What you were wondering if it was going to happen.
You're in pretty good shape.
Yep.
Up by 11,
yep.
As long as that 5-minute scoring drought stays away. But this time, it hit, and you were able to scrap back. They had a 21-2 run in that third quarter, and you guys survived it and were able to get back in the game, and not only that, but then win it.
Well, I mean, experience is a big thing, you know, and we're experienced at that run. You know, I can't explain it. I mean, I feel like that we just become really complacent offensively. We quit attacking. I thought in the first half we did a really good job of going to the offensive boards. We scored a lot inside. We didn't hit any threes, but we were able to at least get some offensive boards and create some, you know, offense there. And then in the second half, we started playing East-West again and not trying to get downhill, never causing any help, never creating any opportunities for rebounds. And that's a lot of pressure in the defense. I mean, it's a ton of pressure, particularly with a younger group to defend and lock them up. I thought in the fourth quarter we started to get a little bit more aggressive offensively. We were able to try to at least get it into Jade a little bit and force some action there, get it into Emma to the paint a little bit and force some action there. And then, you know, what a big rebound there at the end.
You know, we talked about it a little bit here too. It's not often we can go to the locker room at halftime with Richmond having a 20-6 points in the paint advantage over St. Joe's, who usually has
they usually dominate
the point possession and the paint possession against you.
And they're tough. You know, I mean, they're tough kids. They're a tough team, and they usually do a really good job of just kind of grinding you out in the paint. And I thought Amy early on was really, really good offensive rebounding down here and kept us in some possessions. And then, again, she came through big there at the end. So, you know, what we're trying to talk about is if we're not hitting shots, which we haven't, we needed to get some second chance opportunities. You got to go to the boards and try to get another one, at least a foul or something, so that we're not fighting all the time.
Take a look at Duggan here with a couple of drives and those big free throws at the end. She's been a consistent rebounder all year long. What is it about her that makes her be able to have such a knack for that? And Jade had her double-double, of course, but she had a knack for those rebounds.
Well, I think Amy's a really good athlete, and you know, Amy's biggest, you know, concern that we have is sometimes she loses focus. Tonight I thought she was really locked in to wanting to help the team win, and when she's playing like that, and when she's using that athleticism, she's really long. She gets off the floor and she can rebound, and tonight she was actually able to, you know, get some putbacks, which is even better. She wasn't just getting the long rebounds and then kicking it out. She was getting some putbacks. But, you know, the last one was, to me, the biggest one because she knew, I knew Anaya was shooting it. We told them Anaya was shooting it. Emma and Amy were supposed to go in and rebound, and Amy was able to clean it up.
You know, there's one other aspect to this game that we can talk about, and we kind of mentioned it here, of course, throughout the broadcast, but tonight, I think if we look at the final numbers, Monahan had 14. That's her average. But and she's kind of one of those players you look and all of a sudden she has her average. Tonight, she really had to work for it because you had Molly Mraz following her all over the floor. So what was her defensive impact tonight?
Well, I thought Molly really frustrated her, particularly in the first half. I thought we got a little loose in the second half. And I thought they adjusted to the way we were guarding the ball screens. I mean, Molly had help because they run a lot of ball screen action with our post helping. But I thought Molly was really physical and you know, took a brunt of a lot of pushing. And sometimes she got called for the foul, even on push-offs. But I thought she didn't back down. She just kind of accepted the challenge. And that kid's a tough kid to guard. I mean, she has lit up some people in the league, and you don't think she's going to, and then all of a sudden you fall asleep on her. Molly really never fell asleep on her, so I was really pleased with her defensive effort because not only did she keep her from, you know, going off scoring, she was unable to facilitate like she usually does, and that was a big key for us.
And one more thing, what does it mean to have Squires back? Obviously, she's been out since November. What did she have for you tonight? I'm going to take a look at the minutes.
I don't know. It's good to have her back on the floor.
Get her back on the floor,
you know, honestly, you know, it's been 10 weeks without her. And as a freshman, that's a long time. But Emma's a really versatile player. Emma's a very good player. I wish we'd have had those 10 weeks for her to develop her, you know, over a freshman season. So some of the things she's doing right now are a little freshman-y, if that's a word. But having her back on the floor gives us more height, more length, a little bit more size, and she can play like a guard. And she can pull up, she can shoot the three, but I think she needs that game experience and to get your head back into it. But it's a big plus to have her back on the floor. She's limited in minutes she can play right now.
Right.
Or we'd have played her some more. But, yeah, I'm really excited about it.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Good luck against LaSalle on Saturday.
Yeah, thanks.
That's Coach Michael Shafer with the big win tonight, 46-45. That victory this evening here over St. Joseph's. A big win for them. So it was a good contest all the way around, and the Spiders come away with that victory. We may have another guest for you here, so let's see who's going to come in and sit down with us. It's going to be Amy Duggan. We've got Amy coming in. Haven't had her over in a while. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Feels better now, right?
Oh, gosh. I don't even remember the end of that game. I really was just, like, unconscious.
Kind of zoned out at the end?
Yes. I put my head down.
Even on the free throws?
I was like, no, that wasn't me who shot it.
Talk about those free throws a little bit. I mean, obviously that's coming down. You know, everybody thinks about that. They sit out in the backyard. I got 2 seconds left. I'm going to make these.
Mm-hmm.
Those were pretty clutch, obviously.
Yeah, so actually Emma came over to me because she could tell I was freaking out, and she was like, look at me. You're calm. You're fine. You're going to make these. Like, you're gonna sink both of them, and it's going to be fine. I was like, okay, yeah. And I was like, just think about, like, the routine Dad gave you. Just 3 dribbles, spin it to yourself and shoot it. Like, that's it. Like, you do this in practice all the time. So I just kind of told myself I was going to make them, and then luckily I made them.
Well, and we just saw them right there for a second time. Coach and I talked about your rebounding just a minute ago. What's the key for you? You had another big night. You had a big board late. How are you able to do that and do it so well?
I think it's when I put my mind to it, I would just I'm like, this is going to be my rebound. And I was in that mentality for a while, and then starting conference, I kind of, like, slipped it. And, like, I told myself, I was like, all right, you can't do that anymore. Like, you need to rebound. And so that was just kind of my mentality today. I was like, every ball, I was like, mine. So I just tried to play tougher than the other team and get in position to get the rebounds.
You talked about Emma coming over and talk to you. What does it mean to have her back on the floor? She's obviously been out since November.
Mm-hmm. I am literally ecstatic. We're all ecstatic. We've all said, like, Emma, we can't wait until you come back to play, just because she's such a versatile player and she brings really good energy to the floor. But it's just kind of like, it's nice when you have somebody who's healthy back, and just kind of because we know how much of a role player she can play. We were just all like, this is good. Like, we'll win some games, and we're not trying to rely obviously solely on her,
right.
But she brought a lot of great energy when she was on the floor at the beginning of the season. So we're like, this is what we need right now to help lift us.
You've come close so many times. You've had those scoring droughts, and you had another one tonight, but you got over it.
Mm-hmm.
You were able to get over it and come back and win the game. So, what does it feel like to be able to get past that and get that win, get that conference win, and be able to rally off of those like you did tonight?
It feels amazing. I'm just happy, honestly, that we were able to pull through as a team. Like, I'm happy that I was able to help contribute to the win, but I'm just happy that, like, we kind of all came together at the end and in crucial moments to get ahead. Because, I mean, I wouldn't have been able to get that rebound if Anaya hadn't drove it. And it was a really good drive. And I thought she was fouled at first, and I was just kind of going back up with it, like,
we thought you were trying to pull a fast one, maybe let her shoot the free throws.
Yeah.
But it turned out okay with you shooting them, though.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I'd like to thank not only God, but Jesus, too, for that. Yeah, no. I'm just happy I made those.
Thanks, Amy. Appreciate it. Good luck. Good luck on Saturday against LaSalle.
Appreciate it.
All right, that's Amy Duggan, who had the big game at the end, and the Spiders, of course, with this 1-point win, 46-45 over St. Joe's. Up next for them, they're at LaSalle. We'll talk to you again soon here with the next home contest, so join us again on ESPN Plus and on richmondspiders.com, where we have all this action for you here on courtesy of our Spider TV folks. And for our crew, so long for now from the Robins Center, 46-45. Spider win over St. Joe's here tonight.